Welcome, everyone. Today we are here with psychologist Mary Wahome, and we are here to discuss matters mental health during this COVID era. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
Globally, we have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are now over 2 years, and people have been depressed, people have been anxious, people have gone through a lot with this period. Tell us, now that there is an ease in terms of restrictions, going forward, how can we manage our mental health?
Thank you, Anne. That is a concern not only for us, but also for everyone else. There have been a lot of stress, built-up stress because of what happened with the coronavirus when it became a pandemic to all of us. The measures that we have taken, there was no time to prepare people. So everything was pushed to a hold for some time. The schools were closed, bars, restaurants were closed. So everything, there was also the curfew hours and the curfew time. It will caught people unaware. So nobody was not affected from the high to the low. Everybody was affected. Most businesses collapsed. Most people came out of job. Investment were destroyed. Others, they could never come up again. We have many institutions that closed. There was so much layoff. All these people were depending, they were never prepared because it happened like a Friska. The first report here was done in March. It was on a March 15th. Within 3 days, everything was upside down. The measures we are taken were very decisive. We have really affected everyone, including the transport industry. The cars could not carry, the public vehicles could not carry capacity. Those that travel at night could not. So all areas of economy were affected. Most workers could not go to work on time. There was also the fear, the stigma that looking at what was happening in other nations, that people were dying so fast. So everybody was fearing. We were like given a death spell and everybody was to die. So it was really affected us. And the measures that we are taking, nobody saw them coming. From the time we are born, we have never had those restrictions, so nobody would say that they were able to get them. It was a lot of stress, there was a lot of, we didn't know what next. When the children came back home, we didn't know what to do with them. We are not prepared. They had gone back to school. They didn't even do their exams. They came back home. Whatever happened was so much. So it was everything that collapsed. No, we are learning. We were told that the coronavirus would be done in 3 months. So the lockdown was 3 months. But we knew that after the 3 months, everything would go back to normal. We thought by the 3 months, the coronavirus would have gone. But when it reached the 3 months, we discovered that it was something that was to stay further. Even now, as we are speaking, we don't know how long the coronavirus will clear. We are told that it has cleared completely. We don't know. We are still keep on waiting. We are happy that the infection rates have gone down. People have developed resistance. There's a lot of vaccination. People have learned, have seen they can go through the sickness and come out with a strength. So that is what happened in the nutshell. That's what happened. So what is happening now, as you're saying about the easing of the economy, it would have come at a time, any other time. We knew that one day the economy will go back because it was headed to very bad areas. Already it is bad. And now when people were told to stay in houses, to stay home, to keep social distance, to do all the necessary requirements that are required by the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Health, most people felt caged. They felt like they had been imprisoned. And the ones who person to imprison them is at home, which are not very familiar ground for most of them. So now they are feeling it was like they are now being released from that prison. We know there will be adverse effects because they are not yet out of the coronavirus pandemic. There will be adverse effects, and I don't know how well people are prepared. People suffered out of mental health breakdowns and a lot of sickness, a lot of anxiety. There was even a lot of family issues, killing in the families, fighting. There was a lot of addiction. Remember what happened to most of our children, the young girls. They became very vulnerable. Most of them, a good number of them, even young mothers now, teenage mothers. Something that we foresaw coming. We didn't prepare anything. Sometimes we can condemn them or blame ourselves, but nobody was prepared for this. We thought that the home is a safety area. Yes, it is, but there's still some other things that we did put in consideration. So what we are saying is that people should take all the precautions necessary. We are able to tell them that they still need what we call psychotherapy. Somebody who has issues, who feel that they need to talk to somebody, that is why they are there. We know there is a lot that has happened, and some are just suppressed in people's mind. There is a lot of suppression. In the subconscious, they know a lot. They have gone through a lot. They have gone through losses. Some never thought think they are ever going to cover to bring it back, to cover up. People who have lost their jobs, they know very well some of them will never get, because some institutions, even schools, the private school, they closed down. So there is that fear. Where do we start? And that has brought a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental illness. There's a lot of addiction now. There's a lot of instability in people who are stable, who are doing small businesses, and they were closed. So we are saying that we should now be in a forum where we understand, we talk to each other. People should talk to each other. We see each other. We develop small groups where we can be checking on each other. If you're in a family, it's good to talk to your other family members to know what is happening. If you're in a community, if you're in a church, in a school, you're doing business, good to check on each other, because sometimes the best support is when you have somebody who can hear you. You may not provide anything, but you listen to them. So what you're saying is that people should always know that there's a place they can talk, there's a place they can communicate, they can network, they can talk all their issues without being condemned, without being blamed. People will understand them, because nobody can give you the solution when the economy will revamp back. We know we are headed for the campaign and other things, so there's so much energy, so much investment and energy and direction is on the campaign. So we are not so much ready to start rebuilding it. It's like we are starting to do things that are going to give us what we want. Right now we are looking for the country leadership and all the county leadership. You see, that is what is in the people's mind. And there is so much that has not been done. There's so much that cannot be achieved between now and next year. There's so little we can do. To be very sincere in the campaign period, and this is also a very bad time, because people have been the restrictions are eased. People have been allowed to gather. People think that because they have done the vaccination they are able to, or they have gone through the coronavirus and come out, they may not get it again. We have not been told like that. We are told that even those vaccinated, they have a risk of getting it. The only thing we are told that with the risk, it can be easier managed because of the vaccination. They can easily handle, but the risk is still there.